What's up, YouTube? Grimsy42 here with a pretty large pickup video. And it was over a series of about a week and a half. I just really haven't had time to get a video out, and it was a whole bunch of different stops. So I figured I would just do one when I actually got a chance, and today happens to be that day. So let's roll out with it. Okay, so first, kind of a little backstory. A buddy of mine and I, who are both avid collectors, and we often go out hunting for games together, or kind of clue each other in whenever we find, any good sales or anything like that. One thing I'd heard out there from people is that, Gamestop is the giant corporate evil entity, and I won't dispute that. I actually was a manager for them for a number of years, in a past job. So, I'm well aware of what they're like and what they do. But on the other end, if you are aware of the sales and promotions that they offer and you time your purchases properly, you can make a killing from them. You could definitely get some really good games at really good prices. So with that said, I'll kind of digress and go in a different direction. Basically what had happened is I received a coupon in my email by being one of the Rewards Club members that it would allow me to get 25% off any used games I purchased. The terms of the coupon were that I had to use it only one time and that it would expire. So what I had done is I'd called my friend up, and the two of us pretty much we looked up every possible PlayStation 3, Wii, and Xbox 360 game that we would want. Like everything. We literally went through every game on their online list. We wrote down what we wanted. And then we used their online inventory tracker to kind of map out where these games were. So we kind of had this little road trip where we literally drove around our entire area. It was multiple cities. Probably was like a 5-hour ordeal, give or take. And, we picked up some games. And I have my pickups here. And then, believe it or not, there was a few games we weren't able to find on our list, either because they were disc-onlys or the conditions were crap or whatever. So we actually did this a second time with kind of a neighboring city. I'm from the Buffalo area, and then we went all the way out to Rochester, which is about another hour and change, and we did another all-day ordeal out there. So with all of that, I'm going to get right into it. First thing I'll do is a non-GameStop pickup I had. Recently we got a store called Savers, and it's a thrift store of sorts. And usually it's pretty picked over. In fact, I know there's one collector in our area who she works like across the street from it, so she literally checks it every time she works. So we hardly ever go there, but we were literally next to it, so I figured we'd go in and check it out. And I grabbed this 2-box of games. It was $2.99, and they're both long box PlayStation 1 games, which for whatever reason are pretty tough to find these days, probably just due to their age and the fact they're cardboard, they kind of fall apart easy. But there's two in here in really good condition. We've got NHL Face-Off and then Wipeout. And Wipeout was one of the first games that I ever owned with my PlayStation 1 way back in the mid-90s. So I was definitely happy to pick two long boxes up for $2. That's a pretty darn good deal, and I'll definitely take that. Okay, moving on to where to go. Okay, I think what I'll do now is a couple of eBay purchases I recently did. And normally I wouldn't make a pickup video about eBay, but I did get some pretty good deals as far as I'm concerned. So I'll go ahead and show those. The first one actually came from Alaska, and it's this Hyperdimension Neptuna. It's the premium edition. I'd first actually found out about this from the internet series from YouTube, the Video Game Sellers. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but the guy who does that page, Scott, kind of shows his collection off all the time. He's the same name as me, and I noticed these and I thought they looked really cool. There was a series of 3 of them that came out by NIS, and I didn't have any of the games at the time, and they were on my list, so I said, I might as well grab those if I can find them at a good price. And it is complete. There's a little cosmetic damage on the outside of the box, but everything inside is perfect. It's a tad below my collecting standards, but I got this for, I want to say $29. And the game alone goes that, and online I've seen these go 80 plus. So the seller was actually very upset that it went that low. He actually made that vocal to me. He kind of cried about it, but it is what it is, right? You know, you win some, you lose some. And the next thing I got on eBay is definitely in a lot better condition. This is the Atelier Rorona, Alchemist of Arland. And this is the second of the three. The only one that is missing, we'll talk about a little later, because I actually have that taken care of as well. But yeah, I got that, I believe, for $30 also, and that's another one that goes, 50 plus. So I was definitely happy to grab that. Okay, so anyways, on to GameStop. So I guess I will do the Wii games first, since there's the least of those. I'd kind of recently gone on like a Wii spree, if you will, where I'd grabbed every possible Wii game that I could. I would go to every GameStop I saw, and I would literally look through each game, because now that the Wii U is out, they've dropped the prices on Wii games tremendously, so you can get some really good deals. The first one I got was Monster Hunter Tri. I guess that's their way of saying Part 3. And it is complete, and I'm going to go ahead and say every single one of these is complete and in really good condition going forward. So just a mental note so I don't have to open every one of them. The next one is pretty hard to find. I mean, it's on eBay, but I really like to avoid using eBay whenever possible. And it's Sakura Wars, So Long My Love. It's an NIS game, and it looks like it's pretty interesting. Graphics look pretty solid, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing that. And I'm pretty sure that game completes my Wii RPG collection, so I'm pretty sure at this point I have pretty much every single Wii RPG, at least that interests me. There's a few real kiddie ones, like I'm not into the Rune Factory or stuff like that, but I really am. I'm pretty much right there with having every Wii RPG, so it's definitely a nice little accomplishment to have there. Okay, moving on into Xbox 360. There's 4 games. So first one is Alpha Protocol, and I only grabbed this because it was very cheap. It was like $5, and it does say the Espionage RPG. So technically, it's an RPG, and there weren't many on Xbox, so it's good to add that to the collection. Next, we've got the Fable 2 Collector's Edition, which I was told was a GameStop exclusive. Comes with this little extra sleeve, and then it's got different cover art. You can kind of see the main appearance and then the devil look right there. And it's in immaculate condition, so I was definitely happy to grab that, and it was only like $2. Next, we have the not-for-resale version of Fable 3, and it comes with the little bonus content, and I'm pretty sure it hasn't been redeemed yet. So I'm looking forward to plugging that in and confirming. And then lastly on Xbox, this was another game that was kind of tough for me to track down, is the first record of Agrest War. And I already had the Zero Collector's Edition, so that was number 2 for me, is getting this one. Okay, and moving on now to PlayStation 3. That is where the bulk of my games came from. So let's get right into that. The first one is Soul Calibur 4. Mainly I got that for the Darth Vader, the Star Wars exclusive character. And it's a good series. I'm not huge into fighters, but I think it was like $5. So it was definitely worth it to pick up. Next is Dead Rising 2 Off the Record. And I grabbed this one just because I liked the original Dead Rising, and I have Part 2, I have the Zombrex edition. But I wanted to grab this too, just because, the wife and I are really into zombies with The Walking Dead and all that, so I'm thinking it's a game where she may actually, if not play it, she'll at least get into watching me play it. And I'm pretty sure most of the other games I got are RPGs. There may be 1 or 2 strays, but I'm pretty sure the rest are RPGs. So we got Demon Souls. I'd heard a lot of good things about this series, so I'm looking forward to it. And I also got the sequel, which is Dark Souls. A rather inexpensive and poorly reviewed game, from what I'm told, is Front Mission Evolve from Square Enix. Another game I'm looking forward to trying out, 3D Dot Games Heroes. And the reason I'm looking forward to trying this is you can kind of create your own pixelated hero. So I wanted to try to create like maybe a Link or a Mario type thing, since they're very simple looking with the basic polygons. Or maybe even like an 8-bit Mega Man. I just think that would be kind of neat. Next game I grabbed was Two Worlds. Okay, this next one I've been looking for everywhere. It's very expensive on eBay, almost retail still, and you just don't see it in good condition at our local Gamestop. So when I found it, I was definitely very happy, and that's Tales of Graces F, and it's complete and in perfect condition. I was definitely happy to grab this. It's still kind of pricey at GameStop too. It was like $39. But like I said, I had that coupon, and there was another little bit of fun I had, so I'll tip that in at the end. And the next one is Resonance of Fate. It's a game by Sega. It looks like it's a gun-based RPG. I've heard mixed reviews about it, but again, it's an RPG, so I wanted to grab it. This next one I was able to get at a very good price. I think it was like $6. It's Enchanted Arms. So definitely looking forward to trying that one out. And then here's Record of Agrest War 2. So if you count, 0, 1, and now 2, I have all of them. Unfortunately, I think it was Agrest War 0. No, Agrest War 1 was a Xbox 360 exclusive. So unfortunately, you couldn't get all 3 for PlayStation 3, which is why I kind of grabbed 2 for 360. I already had the collector's edition of 0, so I figured I might as well grab, this one on PS3, even though it kind of breaks it up. I'm pretty sure this one was actually a PlayStation exclusive. So you've got 0 on both systems. Part 1 is only available on 360, and then Part 2 is only available for the PlayStation 3. So you're kind of, left in the dark there as far as completion for one system. Moving along, next I grabbed Nier. It looks like it's a RPG type game from Square Enix. So I got that. It was like $10, and the case was flawless. It's in really good shape. Okay, and this next one is kind of a two-part rather story to it. It's Artonliko Koga Neil of RCL, which is like not any English words other than of, as far as I know. And the reason I grabbed it is the collector's edition, kind of like the Hyperdimension or the Atelier Rorono. For this is the last of those 3, and it trades kind of high on eBay. It's like $50-$60, and I really didn't want to spend that much for it. But I was able to actually find an auction that just had the box, which I don't have yet. It's currently in the mail. It had all of the swag, if you will, for the collector's edition. It was just missing the game, so I got it at a really good price, and then I grabbed this so that I can put them together, and it'll be complete. And the packaging on the game, as far as I know, is identical, whether it's collector's edition or not, so I'm pretty sure it'll make it complete. I will confirm that prior, but the next one I grabbed is actually kind of tough to find. There were only 2 or 3 in my entire side of the state, and that's Cross Edge. It's a compilation of a multiple games. It's got Darkstalkers and Disgaea and all this other stuff in it. And it was really tough to find. I actually found it at a GameStop a bit out there, and it didn't even have the manual, so I had to actually mail away on eBay to get the manual, but it's complete now, so that's definitely good. And the next one I have is the Hyperdimension Neptuna MK2. It's the sequel. Part 3 actually just came out. So I'll be grabbing that, and that'll complete the trilogy for that. Next is Atelier Maruru. I think I'm saying that right. The Apprentice of Arland. Apparently they made 600 of these Atelier games also. So, okay. Next is Disgaea 4, Promise Unforgotten. And these, I guess the rest of these are all NIS games. They seem to be the main producer of RPGs, or at least JRPGs for the PlayStation. The next one was another one that's tough to track down, so I was happy to get Mugen Souls. And then lastly, and also this one was very, very difficult to track down, Last Rebellion. It's not really an expensive game. I actually bought this new from GameStop for $15, and just the fact that, you know, it was an NIS game that cheap, I was more than willing to grab that at that price. So that's everything I grabbed. And again, like I said, I normally don't, you know, post any kind of GameStop pickups because, like I said, it's retail and, you know, all that, and people are kind of against that. But if you factor in the fact that, you know, used games are obviously cheaper, and that I confirmed that every single one of these was in good condition, and then I had that coupon, like I said, so when I got to the last store, actually, it's kind of a funny story. I returned everything, and then I repurchased it there, and I used the coupon, and then I also used my discount card, so I got a total of 35% off of all of this. And the cashier who rang me out wasn't the manager, it was like just a game advisor. And she was really cool about it. You know, she didn't give me a dirty look about it. You know, she was happy to do it. It was busy in there, so I definitely felt bad. And I'd noticed when I was all done, they said I'd be getting, I think it was like $130 back, just because of all the money that the coupon saved me, and that was something I anticipated. But the funny thing is when she was counting out the money, she said the 130, and then she counted out 230, and then she counted it a second time, so she knew exactly how much was there. And she went to hand it to me, and I couldn't take it. You know, I kind of leaned over and was like, listen, you know, that's more than you're supposed to give me. I was like, remember, it's only 130. And I wanted to keep it on the low so her manager didn't, you know, rip into her or whatever. But had I been a scumbag and took that $100, I'm sure she would have either gotten written up really bad or she would have got shit canned. So, I mean, that's something that I didn't want to happen after she was nice enough to do that, you know, that return of, you know, all these games. Because this was only about half of what that transaction was, actually, because my friend had purchased about the same amount of games. I think he purchased like 20 games also. So, for her to do that, I mean, that was very, very nice of her. So, I mean, it is store policy that they can return it, but, you know, she was a trooper about it, and she didn't give me any grief. So, you know, the least I could do is not be a douchebag and take an extra $100 that wasn't supposed to be mine. But anyways, that wraps that up. And I guess the last thing I want to talk about is, you know, since it's confirmed and I'm leaving in 2 days, I am flying into Dallas, Texas at the DFW airport. And I'm going to hook up with Billy and Jay, the Game Chasers, and I believe Dodongo will be the cameraman. And we're going to take a trip. I'm not sure I can reveal yet where we're going. I can say it is out of their local area. It's a pretty decently timed size trip, everything. It's going to be a multiple day thing. And, you know, we're going to be doing some game chasing. We've both got family in the area that we're going, so we've kind of got connections down there, and we kind of know a little bit of what we're getting into already. And like I said, our family is definitely, you know, from there, so they'll know, you know, where some good places we can go are. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Expect some video from me about that, and obviously some video on their end. Just a heads up, I'm not sure what I can release when. I have to make sure that it's not something that conflicts with the filming of their show. Obviously that'll take precedence, but anything that's like my original footage that doesn't do spoilers for them, I'll definitely have up pretty soon. And then hopefully I can put together something that's pretty decently edited after that, and maybe coincide it with their release or something. You know, I haven't kind of figured that all out yet. We really haven't talked about those details, but it's very exciting. I'm very happy to be heading out there to Texas to see how they do it out there. You know, it'll be a great experience just to get to hang out with the guys, you know, and obviously have a chance to find something good, because our area is pretty dry with the cold weather and everything. You know, we don't have as many garage sales and flea markets, and so I'm limited to like eBay and Craigslist, and Craigslist has been rough lately. So anyways, that's my video, and I hope everybody takes care. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, comment. If you hate it, thumb it down, tell me I suck, whatever. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.